Are you ready?
I think so.
I like the way you think, I guess, right?
That's all I got.
John Peckman Podcast. I'm John Peckman. We're here. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance Podcast Studio, beautiful downtown Portland. Come over the bridge, start looking left. You can't miss us. We are here today with Mr. Jim Chapdelaine. Chapdelaine, that's him. Guitar player, record producer, multiple Emmy Award winner. How else would you describe yourself?
I don't know, but we have a lot of time to kill, so keep going. This is great.
He's a Scorpio. He likes black licorice.
I dabble in hang gliding and whitewater rafting.
But neither on purpose.
No.
None of them on purpose.
The combo is deadly.
That's right. Jim Chapdelaine, guitar player, one of my heroes. I'm just being honest.
One of my friends and heroes. How about, all right, we're past this.
Yeah. No, we kind of are not. Absolute top shelf people. Jim Chapdelaine. That's you.
I didn't even know there was a tier system.
Dude, bro. Of course there is. What, are you kidding me?
I got a bro dude in a single sentence.
Dude, man, bro.
Double bro.
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
man.
Exactly. How would you, I don't know. How do you want a guitar player? Do you want to start there? What comes first?
Yeah, guitar playing is hard right now.
Really?
Because of hands and COVID and
gotcha.
And everything. So,
Yep.
but we're just like you. I think you're about to go back out. We're going out a little bit.
Sure.
The various ensembles.
Yep. Different ensemble. Where did you grow up? Take us to the beginning, the very beginning. Did you grow up?
Not yet.
Yeah.
But it's in progress a little bit.
Of course.
I grew up in Southwick, Massachusetts.
Wow.
I have a really S-y. Listen to this S. It's like
That's
a professional S.
That's okay.
And West Suffield, Connecticut
Okay.
was where I did my growing.
Yeah.
My primary growing was in them two towns.
Up in Suffield.
Yep.
Suffield. That's kind of wild. How started on guitar? How?
I started at Falsetti Accordion Center.
Hey, Dave knows something about that.
Right? I don't know.
Right?
There was like one or two at the time.
We have accordions around here.
Yep.
Down in the
During
basement.
the great accordion craze
Sure.
of the early 60s.
Is that right?
Where the guitar was just an afterthought.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this rock and roll is never going to last. Stick with the accordion, kid. Yeah.
No, the accordion was huge.
Yeah.
I just couldn't hold it.
I like accordions. I don't mind. A lot of people
like 'em.
don't like them. I like them.
Yeah.
But you know what they say, the definition of perfect pitch. You throw an accordion in a dumpster and it doesn't hit the side or whatever.
Accordions and trombones get a bad, there's a lot of bad jokes about
I don't mind.
both. And they're both good.
Yeah, I don't
you know,
mind.
because there is a thing, for example, this is a theoretical physics.
Sure.
Right? There's two identical roads parallel.
Right.
The roads have two identical cars going at the exact speed.
Mm-hmm.
One is being driven by an accordion player and one is being driven by a duck. What's the difference?
I don't know.
The duck's driving to a gig.
Right. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay. I have a broomsh, but I don't think I can find it.
It's not worth it.
I'm going to cue it up.
That's just
I'm going to cue it up in
example.
case you're funny later. Hold on.
I won't be.
No, I'm just going to
But
go.
that's an example of the disparaging content that was hurled at every accordion player once the guitar arrived.
Well, that's all right.
Until it arrived.
Before then.
Until it went back to Brooklyn and got hip again.
Right.
Right?
Everything goes back to Brooklyn. All right, I'm not going to mess with that because now I'm not paying attention to what you're saying. Pretend I just went.
No one is.
Yeah, you got that right. Why guitar?
You know what? I had a little ukulele.
Okay.
When I was 2 or two and a half.
Yep.
And I used to drag it everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I loved it.
You're like, check this out. Yeah. Driving everybody crazy.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah,
check it out. Hey, ladies, check it out. No, I used to listen to cowboy music. I had a little portable record player.
Oh, that's cool.
And I would drag my Roy Rogers records and whoever else was out.
And you're like, this sounds like the thing for me.
And then you know what happened. Ed Sullivan happened.
Right.
But I was already like a year in.
Okay. So you were ready. You were like, okay.
Yeah.
Were you playing guitar by then or still the ukulele?
Guitar.
Okay. So you were ready.
Yeah, I was playing April in Paris.
Really?
It wasn't happening.
Right. But then you saw the Beatles and it was like, okay,
Yeah.
rock and roll time.
Yep.
That's cool.
And then every other thing that came on the show. I had bought a lot of records before that. Like some Beach Boys.
Okay.
Or surfy music around that time.
Yep.
It would be like 409.
Sure. The year 409. Yep, I got it.
That's when I bought them. It was the year 409. BC.
Yeah.
Ricky Nelson
Okay.
was like an idol of mine.
Right.
And he would play a song at the end of the Ozzy and Harriet show.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard. Yeah. Was that Jim?
Well, you weren't born.
I wasn't. Sorry. But, was that Jim Burton? James Burton?
It was.
That's when all that happened?
Yep.
Okay.
And I remember thinking as an 8-year-old, I wonder what gauge strings James Burton is using.
Yeah, right.
When he does that tricky bend on the Telecaster.
Already there. Yeah. You're like, something's going on here. That's cool. Did you ever get to the bottom of it?
Banjo strings.
Oh. Yeah. Did you know that, Dave? Okay. I guess that's the trick, right? Because they're thinner.
They're thinner. And then finally somebody said, hey, what if we just made these?
Right.
People would buy them.
Instead of why don't we all just play banjo? They probably tried that. And then they're like,
banjo is what led to accordion, ultimately.
Right.
The great banjo scare of the 20s.
Yeah. I don't mind banjos either.
No, it's back. It's back and it's here to stay.
I don't mind it. I never minded banjos. A lot of people don't like them. I don't care.
But your Avits, your Mumfords, they brought it back for good.
Right. They all did. So when I would imagine this is probably high school-ish during this time. When were the Beatles on Ed Sullivan?
I was 10.
Okay. All right. So by the time you got out of high school,
in high school, John, I was busy fighting World War II.
Right. Exactly. So you were probably fully rock and roll.
I wasn't. I was listening to Peter, Paul, and Mary and whatever else would
nothing wrong with
come
that.
across our radar. But when they did happen, it was quite the older kids told us how cool it was, but they were right.
Yeah, turns out.
You'd hear about it on the bus. They're going to be on this weekend. And then the Stones and everybody was on that show.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Your audience wasn't born.
No.
But they've heard about it. They've read about it in the history books.
Although, you never know. I mean, you're going to watch the show, so you're an audience member.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
it's like an infinity. You did an
infinity
loop.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. When did you start playing gigs?
Can we, but just for a second?
Yeah.
Since you did a time travel thing.
Sure. Hold on. Let me cue up the appropriate sound effect.
Please.
Go ahead. No,
there's a little thing of mine that I've noticed, that you can watch time travel movies with almost anybody, and at a certain point, maybe 3/4 of the way in, something will happen and somebody in the room will go, wait a second, that couldn't happen. But up to that point, everybody's down.
Oh, I got you.
Traveled
so there's
time.
Some detail.
Yeah, right. There's some little weird wait
Yeah, they didn't have tortoiseshell
That couldn't
glasses.
happen.
Yeah, exactly. But they're on
You can't
board.
touch your own sweater. So since we did the infinity loop, I had to.
Right, people. The way people are.
Yeah. No one will have heard what we just said because you can go back in time and take it out.
Totally. Why? The sounds are all there. I know, but I'm having problems. I have to ignore this. Why are they?
You're
I'm definitely pressing it, but it's not.
What sound effect do you want?
We have. Yeah, no, this is not working. Okay, who cares? Whenever I press it, it goes into some edit mode. I don't care. Wah, wah, wah.
Right-hand side.
The what?
The power button's on the right-hand side. Hit it.
I'm pressing it and it goes into a different screen. I don't care. Watch. I just want you to let the. So I go to press it,
No, you don't press
and that happens.
Press over there.
Oh,
John, have you ever done a podcast before?
yeah. I'm getting into this. This is a new thing.
I know.
pressing
You're clearly not into the show.
so
You're into
stupid.
the sound effects.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. So anyway, you were saying.
I don't even know
now
what I'm
I'm
saying,
good.
yeah.
Now I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Moron. All right. So
See, that's a trombone. The poor guy.
That's what I was trying to do
respect
before.
He gets.
that's what I was trying to do before. Okay. All right. Let me get everything back.
Get yourself centered, will you?
Okay. We got that. In case he's funny later.
I won't be.
When you start talking about anything serious, this is a test.
I came all this way.
I never should have.
To be subject to your derision.
This is such a.
I'm an artist, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sensitive.
Yeah. Anyway, were your first rock and roll band experiences? Tell us about that up in the mean streets of Suffield.
Yeah. My first paying gig was a fashion show.
Ooh,
$5.
Nice.
Yep. And then.
And of course, you scored a date with the winner.
Yeah, you might have heard of her. Twiggy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Little bit of a thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then the VFW.
Okay.
When I was a freshman. I had played some dances, but that one they paid us $15 and gave us a beer.
Ooh, yeah. A beer.
A beer.
You're like, I'd like that a beer, please.
Yeah,
I'm here for the.
I'll have the A.
Yeah, I'll have the beer. That's funny. That's awesome. I'm just trying to figure out how to like put this all together because I know
Me too. It's taken a long for me. You know, there's medical professionals involved in that.
I'm trying to piece it all together. Apart from the Beatles, so as a guitar player, who were some of your heroes? Who were you trying to emulate initially?
In the early chunk there?
Sure.
Honestly, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Really?
To start, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
because that was tricky. That was like what's he doing?
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't really figure out what the Beatles were doing then.
Okay.
But by junior high school, you knew if you could figure out Satisfaction.
Yep.
You know, you knew some of that stuff.
Okay.
But then in high school, I found Jesse Edwin Davis.
Okay. Wow.
From Taj Mahal's band.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that was a little crazy.
Okay. That was kind of like your new thing at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, I discovered the Roots.
Oh.
The Roots music.
Right. Right.
Interesting.
I didn't know Questlove was around.
Yeah, he was. Well, he's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's almost like an institution.
Yeah.
And there was a band in another town. They were older and more proficient and cooler called the Wildweeds.
Okay.
That was pretty inspiring.
Yep.
There were a lot of really good bands around then.
Back then.
I mean, literally where garage bands came from.
The garage.
The garage.
The
Everyone
actual
had
garage.
one, yeah.
Wow. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, hang on Sloopy on a Saturday afternoon really loud
Sure. Why not?
for 6 hours.
Yeah, right. Yeah, to figure out the elusive.
Right.
Wait, it goes dun, 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 and then I don't know. Then where?
Or the little Latin loopy-loo, and there was a whole canon that had to be played.
Really?
If you were going to play a high school dance.
Yeah, you had to play all that stuff.
And then suddenly we
Wooly
were playing,
Bully.
Yeah, yeah. And then I remember one day suddenly we were playing Stairway to Heaven
Ooh.
at a high school dance, and
yeah.
it was like it wasn't that good.
Yeah. That's funny. But that's when it was new.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a cliche.
No, it was
kind of
just-
like, well, they're playing Stairway to Heaven.
No.
Did you have a
it
double
wasn't-
neck? Did you have the double neck?
No, I could barely.
Can you do the Jimmy Page face? I don't. yeah. The best Jimmy Page.
My Jimmy Page face is rusty.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
all right. I know.
COVID. You know?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Awesome. Were you a Big Zeppelin fan?
I liked them.
Sure.
You know, but I hadn't figured out what I liked then, because I'd go back and listen to Taj Mahal,
Yep.
and then I'd listen to I wonder if Grand Funk Railroad is any good.
Yeah.
Turns out not.
No.
No. No. But I wanted to
Yeah,
listen.
yeah. You just want to find out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Some things that you liked. So the whole Taj Mahal, Ry Cooder must end up in
A little
there
later.
somewhere.
That was later
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
That was college.
Okay. All right. Well, take us through that.
What do you need to know? I mean, Ry Cooder's amazing, right? I just had a Coodercaster made
Whoa.
right before the thing happened.
Sure.
With double B bender.
Ooh, double B bender.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoa.
Impossible to figure out.
Wow, that's crazy. So one false move and you're out of tune no matter where you move.
One false move and you're out of the band. You're off stage.
So what was the first thing that Ry Cooder, that people, what was it?
His first thing was Boomer's Story.
Okay, I don't know.
Just some old blues. But he had a band called, was it called Sons of the Pioneers?
That's what I was going to say, but
So
I
it
wasn't
was
sure, right?
Him, Taj Mahal.
Right.
And who else was in that band? It was like a crazy lineup. I bet you can.
Yeah.
I bet you have it on.
Yeah, we'll look it up
On your
as you're
machine.
talking. But yeah, I remember hearing. I mean, I know all. I know the Taj
I'll
Mahal.
delay the crowd while you use Google.
Yeah. Sons of the Pioneer. I remember. What you mean, this crowd?
Yeah. I mean, that's a logical pairing. Those two illogical pairings. You know who else had a band during that time? Neil Young and Rick James.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's,
that's kind of wild. Yeah, what was up with that?
Yeah.
What kind of drugs do you think they were doing? That's got to be. All of them. All of them.
Fisherman's Platter. Everything, please.
The United States. No. Sons of the Pioneer are the old. That's
the.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the Sons of the Sons of. That's Roy Rogers.
Right. Well,
all right, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out, though.
Okay.
And put up a graphic, please.
Yep, I will. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. But anyway, this is. All right. It was the. I don't know. Who cares?
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Right now, there's people. If there's people listening, they've already Googled it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Google it.
They already know more about it than one of us.
Yeah, they're
does.
like, one of these dopes going to catch up.
Right.
Like, they're already like,
Right.
it's already in my consciousness.
Right.
That's funny.
They've uploaded.
Yep. So college.
Yeah. I'm just getting this now. This is a music podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I got it.
Well, it could be anything. But yeah, it is a music.
Right.
podcast.
Because I was prepared to talk about NASCAR.
Oh, go ahead.
Of which I know nothing.
right ahead.
I don't know anything about it.
Go ahead. Talk about NASCAR. That's fine by me. Yeah.
Joey Logano took drum lessons here.
Oh, who?
There you go. Joey
Logano.
You know Joey Logano.
I don't know who that is.
He's a NASCAR guy.
Oh, okay. A NASCAR guy took drum lessons.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a Portland NASCAR star grew up around here. Took drum lessons. Far out.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
I know. It's just a formality. I will touch on this briefly. I did go to college and failed miserably for a while.
Oh.
To Central Connecticut State College then.
In New Britain.
When I left, they decided it was a university.
Oh, wow.
But it was only a college when I was there. And I dropped out to be in a band with a guy in this town.
Oh, in Portland.
Yep. And we played country music at strip clubs.
Oh, nice.
Right across the street from Pratt and Whitney. So when the night shift would get out, then I'll come over.
Sure.
And I just remember this stripper saying to me, like, Jim, this is no life for you. You don't want like it was like out of a Rocky movie or something.
Yeah.
Like, come here. You don't want this.
You don't want this. Look
this
at us.
This isn't for you. Go do something.
You'd be better off working at Pratt and Whitney. You know what I mean? Like, you'd like to be those guys.
Yeah. They got paid.
Wow. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. How did this happen? Not that I have too strong associations, but country music and stripping. How's that? How did those go
Country
together?
music with a beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't strict. I mean, now that I think about it.
This kind of funny.
There was like occasional Grateful Dead.
Like, how does a stripper dance sadly? You know, to a sad... You know what I mean?
Sad, like George Jones.
You know, he stopped loving her today.
Yeah.
Taking your clothes off to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The dog died.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
why it didn't work.
right. That's what I'm thinking. Now you look at it and you go...
Nobody ever thought about it
Yeah,
then.
we got to do something.
I wonder if we used something with a beat. if that would help.
Yeah, right.
Be less interpretive dance.
Yeah, that's crazy. What are you kidding me?
Yeah, but
Rhythmic music at a
the same stage, but separated by some thing. But they're here and we're here.
wow. How much country music did you know?
I didn't know a ton, but it was also like Van Morrison. And, they were trying to make it. I was 18.
Okay.
And the other guys were 35.
And your parents were thrilled.
Oh, my parents!
They're just like,
well, this is how I got my parents to let me go to Berkeley. I said either I do play with
or
guys
this is
who are
it.
twice my age on drugs next to strippers
Yeah.
who feel sympathy towards me.
Right.
They think I'm the loser here, and they're right. Or maybe I can go to the big city and go to a college.
And they were like, anything.
Yeah, get out.
Yeah, here you go.
Get out. Here's your ticket.
Wow. Yeah, wow, that's heavy. That's a heavy chapter. Can you imagine if this were the movie? If your life were a movie, this would be
This
like
would be a weeping steel guitar.
Right. Yeah, this would be the scene where Rocky early in the morning cracks 3 eggs into a glass with his sad, droopy sweatpants.
And in the montage, at some point, the edit then would lead to like urban sounds, horns honking,
Right.
and then jazz.
Right. Yeah.
People scat singing in the middle of the street.
Right. Yeah, there you are with the strippers across from Pratt and Whitney. How long did you do that gig?
Not that long.
Yeah.
Maybe
Enough to.
probably 3 or 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Long enough so like one of the various bass players pulled over one night and said, "This isn't for you."
Oh, so even the bass player's like,
everyone,
kid, you got to get out of here.
Everyone except the guy.
Look at us.
was like,
We have cirrhosis of everything. Like you
but
have to.
we did go to Vanguard Records somehow and did a demo there. And the guy there, he got really drunk. So I played all the instruments. It was horrible.
Oh, really?
It was a horrible demo. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a demonstration of what not to do.
Yeah. Well,
If you
a demonstration,
if you
nonetheless.
don't want to get signed or make music, this is the thing you should show people.
Whoa. Wow. Did they, why, I don't know why I'm obsessed with the country strip bar band, but did they disintegrate after you left, or did they just
He
got some
actually
other
went
kid
on-
with
he went
stars
on
in his
to-
eyes?
The guy went on to a pretty successful like A&R country career.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Did you leave that gig more of a country fan, or was
Yeah,
it just?
I did. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
kinda cool.
I learned to respect it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to grow up snotty about country,
Sure. Yeah. Probably, especially then. But yeah, no,
or
good.
especially now.
Well, it's a whole different thing. Yeah, now definitely. Well, that's kind of cool though. It's a part of the experience.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed.
No, why should you be? Why not? I mean, good music is good music. So then off to Berkeley.
Where I became a cat, if you can't tell.
Yeah, sure.
I learned how to speak cat,
Yep.
walk like a cat.
Eat cat food when times got rough.
Everything I did had a certain amount of swing to it. if you know what I mean.
Yeah. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you just don't.
Hey, man, I know you just don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the big
Until somebody
thing?
punched me in the face.
Yeah,
Stop that. No one talks like that.
What was the big thing
What was my
at Berkeley? Like, who was
my big thing there was that I started paying attention finally. that I actually took something seriously.
Okay.
As a person with an aggressive case of ADHD. I don't have the H. I'm too lazy for H. I just have the ADD.
Right.
I went there and I buckled down and I got into it.
And you were like, I'm going to be serious now.
Yep. And then I, after a couple of years, I took a year off to study with Pat Metheny.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's when it gets serious.
Well, in my mind.
Well, yeah.
I
Well,
thought, ooh, look at me go.
well, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So that's the kind of thing that was coming in to your world at that point.
Boston was really exploding.
Okay.
And everyone was
This would have been what year? Just because I don't really know.
73 or 4?
Okay.
73.
All
maybe,
right.
Let's say.
Yep.
For the sake of our narrative.
Sure.
We'll just label it 73.
Sure.
When you do the graphic up here,
Yep.
the year 1973.
Yeah, the year. Yes, exactly. Yes. Jim Chapdelaine. It's the mean streets of Boston.
Right.
Armed with Metheny knowledge.
Thinking that he knows jazz because he could play an Allman Brothers solo.
Oh boy. Oh
Yes.
really?
Yeah. Well, there was that part. Like,
Yeah.
all right, play a jazz blues.
And they just write down.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's been playing in strip bars.
Right. I had a teacher who was fully he fully embodied the jazz, white jazz
Sure.
guy. He had a turtleneck. He's probably a year older than me, but he looked 25 years older.
Sure.
Had a turtleneck, a stylish coif, a pipe,
Oh yeah.
and a beard. And I don't know how you do this because I'm not a beard guy,
No.
despite what you
Yeah.
see here. That was like 4 hairs wide, perfectly groomed.
Oh, like a chin
like
strap.
a jazz beard,
Yeah.
you know. And he would say, are we going to play a blues? And I would bend a string and he'd reach over. We don't do that here.
Oh really?
Yeah, we don't.
No string bending
No.
at
I said,
Berkeley.
you don't? Oh.
Wow.
And that's one of my favorite things about a guitar is bending a string, right?
Whoa. They're
So-
just stop.
Yeah, he put his hand like, oh no, we don't do that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No bending.
No.
Wow.
And then, I would take a lesson from Pat Metheny. Whoa, you're bending a string. How do you do that?
Yeah.
He was open-minded to all
Sure.
that stuff.
Wow.
So I like to take a little responsibility for his success.
Right. Why not? Why not? Might as well.
What separated those two artists? String bending.
Imagine that.
Right.
Did you know that, Dave? Wow. No string bending in Berkeley in 1973.
Is it fascinating?
It is. I studied with Bill Levitt up there.
Oh, the king.
Yeah.
I almost bought his guitar last year.
Who, Dave? So I could say it.
Bill Levitt.
Bill Levitt.
You know how there's an expression? He wrote the book. Bill Levitt actually wrote the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Big guitar man.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the guy for like chord solos.
Okay. So kind of the Pat, no offense, the Pat Metheny of your
Yeah.
He
time.
was.
Sorry,
I would say he was the guy who codified a lot of stuff.
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
because it hadn't all been to the extent that you.
So he wrote the book, like
Yeah.
you're saying. He just set it
Literally
in
a
stone.
modern
like,
method
this is-
for guitar, whatever that
Wow.
was. He wrote all that. He wrote all these.
That's
So
wild.
yeah, I go back and look at those sometimes.
Wow. That's wild.
I realize I still can't understand it.
Well, how many Emmys does this guy have that you're talking about?
Oh, come on now. He was beloved.
Because that's the only measure of any sort of success.
He was a beloved figure there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So he's enshrined.
Yep.
So Pat Metheny was not at Berkeley.
He was, but he was we happen to be the same age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was
That's
depressing for me to find out.
Wow. It happens.
And he left because he was being discovered. He was there to teach
Oh.
at 19. He was 19.
Oh, wow.
We were both 19 then.
Okay, so this is not the famous Pat Metheny.
No, it is. He's kind of becoming a made
Okay.
guy at that point. He was playing with Gary Burton,
So you were in the right place at the right time.
very much so.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
There was who else was in town? I mean, all those guys. I mean,
So you were just the Boston man about town, just checking it all
I was
out.
not. I was checking it out, but because the only real job I've ever had since then was to be a jazz record buyer at the Harvard/MIT Coop,
Oh, that's
which gave us free tickets to every show in town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
You're just taking it all in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really interesting time to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of wild. What were some of the most memorable shows that blew your doors in?
You know, seeing Bonnie Raitt at a little club because that's where she played.
Sure.
Or seeing, all these artists come. There was on Monday nights or Tuesday, or whatever it was, on my street was a trio that played. Bob Moses, Jaco Pastorius, and Pat Metheny.
Wow.
For $1, 25-cent beers.
Whoa.
Now, not every Monday, but
Wow. That's heavy.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even know well, I'm not
He would fly Jaco up to.
holy cow. That's crazy.
I'm so glad that I don't play fusion anymore, but because now I can like it again.
Yeah, right. Did you think that did you think you were going to hang with that?
No, I knew I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
But so you just enjoyed it.
I loved learning about it.
Yeah.
And I
sure.
would play, but
there was no point where you just said, "I'm going to close in on this."
No, because it seemed like you either have to have like a new voice, or you have to have a thing that, or else you're like Spyro Gyra or something.
Right.
Who's great.
Right. I hear you. Oh, we're having Spyro Gyra on next week. I'll make sure I told him you said that.
Both of them?
Yeah. Yeah. So did you have any idea so how did your Pat Metheny tutelage, how did that translate into your overall bag? Because you weren't trying to do.
A proud moment there was the whole time for me is like I'm listening to NRBQ and Badfinger and Little Feed or any of those people.
Mm-hmm.
And one night we got Metheny to go see NRBQ.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, oh my God.
Really?
These guys are geniuses. Mm-hmm. He got it right away.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So,
so that's wild.
Yeah. So I boy, this is long, huh?
Yeah.
We're like, I'm like 93 years old.
We'll speed up.
We're up
I know.
we're up to like 22 or something. I don't think it's that interesting. So then I got cancer. Then I got treated for cancer. Then I moved home, and then I went on the road, and I have been working ever since.
Wow. Do you want to skip the cancer part? If you would like to talk about your work and
unless you want to dwell on it a little bit.
Well,
but
no.
No, I do a little outreach for people with rare cancers, which is what I had. We try to steer them to the right resources and do the right thing.
Okay.
So if you're one of those people, call John. He'll play a sound effect and get it to me.
Oh, God. Yeah. So you didn't finish.
No, I never went back to school. I finished chemotherapy, and then 2 days after that, I got a call. I was planning on going back to school.
Yeah.
I was working as a record guy.
Sure.
During that time. Then I got a call to go on the road with 5-6 nights a week.
Oh, really?
Local.
Yeah, sure.
But I had to move back to Connecticut to do it.
And you're like, okay,
yeah,
this is what I'm doing. What band was that?
Crystalwood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who was in it? Anybody we know?
John Steiner, Joe Korecki.
Okay. So they were like...
It was like a post-hippie acoustic,
okay,
Kenny Loggins and stuff.
And you were there.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'll be that dude.
Well, then we started, I like push some Steely Dan or some NRBQ or something that I liked, and that started working better.
That's cool. And how long did you do that?
I don't know, but less than a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But that was...
Because the world was opening up to me.
Oh, in what way?
I don't know. We formed a more like a jazzier little thing, and that got more work. Not jazz, like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Which is a natural place to go from Kenny Loggins.
Sure.
And then...
But that gig got you out of Berkeley and at least got you into the scene.
It's time me to be like a gigging musician.
Yep.
And I figured if I didn't have a lot of time left on the planet, I would rather spend it playing than talking about playing.
I got you.
Like we're doing now.
Right. So
we should.
So then you just started gigging like crazy. Figuring I might as well do it.
A lot. Yeah. Which eventually led to world famous Dancing with Henry.
Okay.
Right.
All right. That's the order.
That was another kind of college to go to.
Okay. Sure.
And that was it for cover music for me after that band.
Yeah, I remember you.
But I loved most of my time there.
Yeah. You guys did that for a while.
And still am good friends with those
guys. Yeah. I don't think I was around, but I knew about...
Well, you were, because I think there was an overlap with 8 to the Bar.
Probably, yeah.
Similar rooms.
Yep, might have been. But yeah, I remember hearing about you guys and everything. And then, so when that was... So by the time I knew you, you were kind of like... You were the guy that had the studio.
Yeah, as soon as I got here from Boston... I started reading about recording stuff. I got a 4-track.
Oh, okay.
Started messing, and then it just became like wherever I was, I would look for something.
Okay.
And I would read about these great studio guitar players. But since I was living where I was living,
Right.
I couldn't be one of those. So I had to make a studio.
To be the studio guitar player in your own studio.
Yeah. And I was actually getting local studio work
Yeah.
when I moved back.
So you had a setup, and then...
Well, I would go to places where they had a real setup.
Oh, really?
But then I remember thinking, like, you could do this a lot cheaper and have fun doing it.
If you set up your
If
own...
you just set up get a rig and learn how to do it.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
And then I started reading, like up to that point, guitar players would listen to guitar players or whatever, right? And I remember thinking, like, what's the hi-hat doing?
Yeah, right,
What's that kick drum doing?
Okay.
How do they get the kick drum sound?
Right.
Like that's...
So your curiosity just led you to understanding the whole thing.
I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Well, look. Yeah. So much more than a guitar player.
Well, yeah. I mean, my identity was I'm a guitar player.
Sure.
But I was, and I don't think there were really many magazines yet. It hadn't really blown up. But by the 80s,
right, recording, home recording,
we'd go to the AES show for a few days, you know, and just look at these Neve consoles that went on like for a mile.
Sure.
In fact, the first one I went to, there was a guy sitting on the Neve console.
Yeah.
I think I told you this, right?
No, I don't know.
And there's a can of Coke. And
he
puts it down on the Neve console. And people are like, what? And he was talking to people and he turned and sure enough, spilled right into the Neve console. He said, that's all right. I built it. It was Rupert Neve. There's another one in the truck.
Whoa.
But it was a huge thing. Like it took hours and hours to swap it out. But he had a spare.
Imagine that.
But I mean, if it was anyone else,
yeah, right,
that would have been the end of their career.
So Rupert Neve is like, whatever, the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, he made it sound better. Like, try this. Sounds good.
Oh, man, that's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Rupert Neve. Wow, that's crazy. So what was your first setup?
4-track, 8-track, 16, and then now,
yeah, right.
Tracks don't.
A million.
No one thinks about tracks.
Yeah, no, nothing matters.
But that used to be the point of demarcation, right? It's a 24-track.
Yep. Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Well, this is a 2,400-track studio now.
Right.
Nobody
Infinity
cares
tracks.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you only have Infinity?
Look at this. Dave's whipped this out before. 2-inch tape.
Look at that. Yeah.
Little Ampex 2-inch tape, giant reel over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use it to prop the door open nowadays.
That has 4 songs on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
5.
Yep.
Then they're short.
Yeah, exactly.
5 singles.
So you were recording for hire?
Yeah, a little bit.
So you were just like the dude?
No, I wasn't the dude.
No, but I mean among your circle of like, Jim's got the setup.
I was working my way to that. For a while, Mike DeLisa and I had we were kind of partnering together.
Okay.
And we did a lot of jingles.
Right. Okay.
In fact,
so that's where that started.
I was on an operating table one time.
Oh, boy.
About to be put under it. I knew this doctor by now. It was just
sure.
Every now and then they just practice new anesthesia on me.
Oh, cool.
So I'm laying there.
Oh, that didn't work. Oh,
in those days,
right.
They play the radio,
right,
while they're getting ready.
Imagine that.
And as they were about to pop me, I heard a jingle that I said, "Wait, this just came out. This is us." it was like a 30-second.
So
they said,
funny.
and they clapped and they said, "Okay, good night."
That's great.
Yeah,
I have my dentist that I've been going to forever is a drummer of sorts. He's a cool dude, and he's so funny because will be like, Mr. Dentist, and everything. And then as soon as the assistant leaves, he'll shut the door and go, "All right, so what do you listen to? What's the story?" And then we start doing drum talk.
Right.
And him being a dentist, he's always asking me, "Hey, any tips you can, anything that I should know?" That we always talk drum nonsense when no one's in the room. And there was one day he was coming in with the Novocaine needle to give me a filling, and "Use Me" by Bill Withers comes on, and I go, wait. He goes, "No, I know, but just open up." Like he's like, "I know that hi-hat lick," because I was going to tell him that's a hi-hat lick. That's a famous one. Do you know that one? He's like, "I know."
You're right.
So it's the same kind of thing. Yeah.
You know what? It never happens in reverse though. Like you're never like, hey, what kind of drill are you using these days? What do you got? Is that how many bits is that?
Somebody does. Some dentist.
Some drummer, as soon as the door closes, says to the dentist, like, what kind of Novocaine are you using these days?
Wow.
Like just flips it.
I should learn about.
Yeah, you got to learn a few dental things. Like,
yeah, so I could flip it on them.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Dude, those pegs are shining. What do you got? What are you using?
Wow. Yeah, what kind of bit is that? Are you sure you want to use?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
That's scraper. That's a nice one. What kind do you use?
I can't wait to move past this topic.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I started it.
Yeah.
With the whole dentist thing. How did you? Do you remember your first? I'm now a producer. I'm recording. Do you remember your first recording session? As you probably don't.
I don't.
Like when you just said, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do now."
Oh, like and get like I'm going to get paid.
Yeah, like here I am.
I wonder who that was. I mean, there were bands coming in for a while there.
Yeah.
They're like any number of bands.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
They were like, go to Jim's place. We'll go to Jim's place.
Right. But when I moved to my little place in West Hartford, that place got really busy.
Yep.
You know, you and I did.
Yeah,
some
that's
really
where
cool,
we started.
I thought some cool records. There.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of my favorite stuff.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
In that little, that weird little basement.
Yep.
It's because by then I was transitioning to writing for TV.
Okay.
And so I realized that they're both really fun.
Yep.
But at the time, you know, a band will pay you $100 for an afternoon.
Sure.
And be really upset that it's not 80.
Sure. Right. Whereas
the other thing, I was never super proud of or in any way ashamed of writing commercial music.
Right.
Or making a living.
A challenge is a
music.
challenge. It's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's oftentimes fun.
Yeah. I could imagine that. I can imagine that. I think, I mean, not to whatever, but when I met you, I was coming off the road and kind of learning a whole new world. And that's one of the things that I learned from you, that you viewed anything anything that was challenging was good to challenge yourself to do, instead of saying, well, I don't want to do that, or I'm not good at that, or, that's, like you say, that's selling out to do, but just like problem solving and figuring it out.
Yeah.
That was huge.
You know, the first, it was like, I don't know if it was Bob's Stores or one of those things where I had to sync up video.
Oh boy.
To audio tape.
Yeah.
And I was reading about it, and
oh boy.
And it was about to pay like really good money that day.
Yeah.
But it was $800 to rent the machine.
Oh boy.
And all the guy said, he said, I don't want to show up and see you with a manual there. You better know what you're doing, right?
Oh boy.
And I was like, oh yeah. So I took the manual.
You wrote the entire manual on your hand.
In between my fingers, like this, like you would for a French test. And I put it up in my bathroom upstairs in my house. And
the manual,
right? So anytime I got to a place where
pee again?
Yeah. Next, I don't know. I got a little, I'll be right back. And I would, and I'd burn through it, and I got it to work.
Wow.
It was. Did
you ever find out until now, this second?
No, I told him a while back.
Okay.
Yeah. Like 3 weeks ago.
Did you get it done? You got the gig done?
Yeah.
And did it work?
It worked. Yeah.
And how many times did you panic?
All day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No. Once I got it working, but it took like 4 hours before I felt. But it took that long before we were like sort of working.
Mm-hmm.
But it was.
You got it done.
Yeah, it was scary, and there, that was a little space, and there were wires, and there was like new things.
Who else could? How did you get the gig?
Just sometimes you just say yes.
Oof, and then you just go, I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I know the feeling. I've done that plenty of times. Not at that level.
Well, it wasn't like it was a high level. It was a high level challenge.
Well, I mean, you don't want to get a bad reputation and blow the whole thing.
Right.
Have to have the guy leave. Right. You got to pay for the rental.
Right.
That's trial by fire.
Yep.
Ooh. Did you ever do that? And then once you got that, was that your thing? You're like, okay.
I had that gig for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you ever meet Bob? Is there a Bob? Bob Stores, famous Connecticut.
I just found an old demo I did.
Oh, yeah?
Of like a jingle reel.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll play it someday.
Were there two Bobs?
I don't know.
Maybe that's two guys.
Yeah, Bob's.
Two guys. They could
Oh,
have been Bobs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. So commercial music,
Yeah.
band music, recording bands, recording artists.
Yep.
So when I met you, we made a lot of records back then. You were still doing a lot of that.
I'm still ready to do it now.
Cool. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. So helping people write their songs, because that's kind of your thing, like the arranger too. Singer-songwriters would come kind of with an idea, and you would help them put the whole thing together also. Right. So not just producer, not just running the...
No, the engineering thing I was learning on the side.
Yeah.
So to me, it always was...
You must have got a bigger bathroom, more manuals hidden, you know?
No, my wife will tell you, I stopped reading for like 5 years. I just had stacks of manuals. Wow. That I would go to sleep with.
Wow.
But, you know, we had that little band, Mr. Right.
Yep.
And so we recorded that record there. And that was getting a little shake out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And that led to other people asking me to do their records.
I see. So that all right. So that's when I came in the wake of that.
Right.
Like
right.
Mr. Big started to pop.
Yeah.
Mr. Big, sorry. Yeah. Mr. Right.
I was
thinking about.
You know what? When I think about it, having any band with the name Mr. in it is such a stupid idea.
Well,
especially having Mr. twice, like Mr. Mister.
Yeah, right.
Double,
Mr.
Double stupid.
Mr. Misty.
Yeah. We were only
Dairy
half
Queen.
Stupid.
What?
We were only half stupid. So yeah, and then I moved, and when I moved, and I built a different place, still made records, but that was really. Then there was a lot of TV music written in that space.
Yep. Okay.
Because by then, I had a child.
Right.
And that child required feeding.
Right. Right. As I've heard children do.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have any.
Yeah. But you know,
so then you really got to jam. You don't have time to screw around with bands anymore.
No.
Then you're just like, I gotta.
No.
This has got to be for real.
But you know what? She graduated from college this year, so I think it's time to
back in it.
She's
on her own.
Just make some records again.
Yeah, I'm totally.
Now that the COVID thing seems to be behind us.
Oh boy. I'm annoyed at myself. Like I can't stop myself. And I'm like, why are you doing that?
With these hilarious pandemic jokes.
Oh, boy, oh boy. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about let's
talk about you. I mean,
go ahead.
Where did you grow up?
Me, I grew up in Wallingford. Everybody knows this because I was the guest on my own show.
Oh, that's
a couple of weeks ago. Right. So it's all boring. But just talk about your Emmys, for crying out loud. It's an Emmy award winner in the house. That's never going to happen.
Here's what I'll tell you about an Emmy. My parents, like all parents,
sure,
of that generation, had no idea what I did,
right? Except
that it was probably a mistake,
right?
To be doing what I was doing,
yeah.
And so I won that first Emmy, and I brought it to their house. My mother said, "Well, why would they give this to you? Why,
wow!
What did you do to get it? I don't even."
What a drag! You're like, I don't know. They just randomly,
it fell out of the sky.
Yeah.
They were all over the lawn. I just picked one up. It wasn't even that I took it personally. That's just, they came up that way, right? And my father was like, what do you think that's worth? Can you sell it? Like, Dad,
it's an award.
Is that an offer?
Yeah, right.
How much you got?
Wow.
They ended up tuning in a little more afterwards, but they didn't have the toolkit to.
Yeah, right. To realize this is an industry.
It wasn't a job you went to.
Right.
It wasn't, and you didn't get health insurance.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, well, but
I'm good with it.
Yeah, no, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
So what are they for? Most of them, some of them, one of them.
There was one we did with Ed Asner.
Okay.
A 5-part energy series. That was really, I liked it a lot.
And you did the composing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
that was before I was mixing TV.
Oh, okay.
Because,
so tell me the difference.
Okay, so in the 90s, it was very common you could land little like an hour-long documentary.
Okay.
And
as a composer.
Yeah, and you meet with the producer and you have a big chat about it, and it was really fun. I used to like it a lot. Then, by the mid-2000s, music libraries arrived.
Oh.
And even though it takes...
So people just stockpiling. And
so a producer or a station or whatever, an entity might subscribe to this, and there'd be 50,000 ways to describe the moody, atmospheric thing. So instead of saying to you or me...
It's just an algorithm.
Like, yes. I think it's going to come back, too, because there's only...
Right. We've all heard it all.
You listen to this stuff, and it's just so generic.
Right. Right.
I'm not saying that I haven't written generic music.
No, but there's probably more need now of content more than ever.
So if you see a good piece of film or video, I just mixed a movie called The Last Pig. That was astonishing.
Okay.
And that had a really good score.
Okay.
That was customized. It was not a library piece.
Right.
I mean, and honestly, if you're doing an industrial film,
sure, you could probably library. It's easier.
Nobody cares.
Right.
They don't.
So for the budget, it's
I used
easier.
to get very precious about that. Like, no, that ending goes for another 3 seconds, and a producer would say, like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
They'll just edit to the piece.
Yeah.
You never went into the library business.
No, I thought about it, but it's a lot of work, and you kind of have to be the first one there.
Yeah, I got you.
Or else you have to have your own, like, I do weird string things or whatever your thing is.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of giving it all away too.
Yeah, right. So you got to really chop some wood. Like you have to have a huge.
Yeah, you just have to be going all the time, and you have to hustle all the time. I'm not a hustly.
Sure.
I'm very unmotivated.
So well, whatever. So then what happened? So
then I got into the live, those live PBS things. That was really fun.
Okay.
And I don't know if that will come back, but that was a good run.
So tell us what that is.
Infinity Hall Live, or recently Live at the Kate.
Oh, okay.
So we're really good artists coming in, have a truck outside.
Yep.
Get that captured, and then go back and make a TV show out of it.
Right.
And mix
so you're just mixing
concert.
A bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Do you do anything with scoring? Do all of these happen at the same time? So you're just kind of adding things.
Yeah. In other words, when Infinity Hall Live came around, they ran the idea. What do you think of this idea? It's a cool idea. And I said, but if you want any really good artists, you need to multi-track it.
Right.
Oh, no, you don't have to. We're just going to use camera audio. I said, no. You'll have like 2 episodes and nobody will come.
Right.
Nobody will want to play it.
Right, sure.
I mean, and honestly, let's think about...
So it's part of the draw for the artist, too, knowing that like you're going to make a record and a video.
Yeah, then you're going to be well represented.
Right.
And they were.
Right.
And of course, the toolkit has been growing so that there are artists that could maybe have an off night that would look like they were spectacular and that their pitch was incredible.
Oh.
All I'm going to say is that there's certain ninja skills that have been acquired with relation.
Right. So you're the
actual pitch.
Wow.
So and that software has come a long ways.
Yeah, right. So good for them. They're lucky.
It used to turn everything into a cowboy scene, like because if the piano was bleeding into the microphone and you're tuning the vocal.
Oh, it sounds like a player piano.
Yeah, now it's out of tune with. So
that's funny. Yeah. Oh boy,
but that doesn't happen a lot.
Okay. Yeah, no, of course not. Of course not. So you're better at that.
I've learned that. Yeah.
So now you're
what's weird? Here's a new skill.
All right.
Fixing Zoom audio.
Oh.
Who knew? I mean, it's not fun.
Fixing Zoom audio.
Everybody's on Zoom now,
Yeah.
right? It's not like, I didn't think like, you know where I want to end my career?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is fixing Zoom audio. But it turns out there's a lot of goofy artifacts. And it turns out, if you think about it, what they are, you can get them out, a lot of them.
I see.
And then the corporations that are having these big conferences feel a lot better about what they're presenting.
Oh.
Because you're sweetening it up. You've seen these things where there's one person.
Yeah, sure.
And there's another screaming. And
So you're
it's just a weird side hustle. Whoa. And when you think
that's
about
crazy.
all these things, right? I did a shooting one time, like literally a guy getting shot. And I was the forensic audio guy in the case.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I don't know if I want to.
Well,
it was somebody had been, it was a high speed chase.
forensic audio.
So the whole court transcript was inaudible. Oh no.
And you cleaned it up.
It's quite audible.
Syllable by syllable.
Yeah. And some of the things that were said were quite pertinent. And then it turns out there were 4 police departments involved in this high speed chase. And I noticed that 9 minutes in, the third one didn't have any relation to the other conversations.
Okay.
And then I kind of zoomed. I realized they looped it. They did a 9-minute loop.
What?
Yeah. And then like, wow. So I just lined it up.
And
there it was.
Wow. That's heavy.
Yeah.
You still do gigs like that?
No, I was terrified.
You're in the witness protection program. You did one gig.
I was so afraid. Because they asked, would you testify in a courtroom? I said,
ooh. Can I wear a bag over my head?
Right.
Wow. Yeah, you don't want to be in that business. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. So now, gigs are kind of coming back.
Yeah. I have some gigs with the Poussette Dart Band.
Poussette Dart Band.
Coming out. Gigs with my man, Big Al Anderson and the Floor Models.
Yep.
Coming up. And
beautiful.
And the Shinolas.
Yep.
Coming back.
Absolutely.
I just have to learn how to play the instrument again.
We all do.
Everyone's afraid, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
No. I have a couple of gigs under my belt already, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of remember this.
Well, you know what?
I don't remember it hurting this much.
Right. Here's what everybody's saying to me, and is that, hey, it's just like riding a bicycle. So I'm wondering, is it too precious if I go out wearing a helmet?
Right. Here I go. Yeah.
Because it's going to be rocky.
I know. People don't. God bless everybody. They don't understand. But yeah, people say that to me too, of like, oh, you won't. Because my thing is, when do you lose your chops? And it's like, I don't have the answer to that because I've never not played for this long in my entire life.
Me too.
So
I mean, I've had my hand rebuilt 5 times, this I've taken more time off now. Right.
So yeah, you don't know. So the answer is, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
When I get on the gig, whether the answer is 1.5 years is when it all goes away.
Turns
now
out,
we know. Yeah.
Go straight to hell.
Well, who knows? I mean, I'm hanging in there, but it's whatever. But yeah, that's funny. People are like, oh, I'm like, well, we don't know. I've never gone this long. Never gone this long.
Right. Where everyone just stopped.
Yeah.
And I know some people took advantage of it and were very creative and stuff, but most people were too petrified to do that.
To an extent.
Or had some sort of impact that they had to deal with.
Yeah, you fall off, I guess, a little. You never discover. I probably told you about this, but I saw Cheap Trick last month. They came back. They played.
You told me.
Yeah. And they're hilarious. This is why I love this band, because they're hilarious. Because they just came out and they sounded good, but they were just like, this is our first show since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the one show. And like they like completely ruined an ending. Like they got to the end of the song and it literally train wrecked in front of 4,000 people.
I bet people liked it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I love that band. Rick Nielsen's just like, hey, I forgot. And we're all just like, that's great. That's great. Because they're not like going to pretend that it didn't happen. They're just kind of like, sorry. We've never not played this song in that long. I forgot how the ending went until I got there. So, but you know him, blew a guitar solo, and he just whatever, and just threw his pick. And
Right.
It's like, fine, we don't.
I'm
care.
going to have to get some picks.
yeah, just distract everyone. Hey,
Right. This is Rick Nielsen's.
yeah, exactly.
I have my first gig, I think, is next weekend.
Oh boy,
But it's a double-edged sword. It's a 5-hour drive, but it's a 5-hour drive. So
right,
I could really mess
Sure.
up there.
yeah,
And it's not going to travel back here for a while. You know what I mean? It's going to take a while to get back.
right,
I will have had another gig before the news gets back. Like, oh my God. Did
Right.
you see what happened?
right, and then you can recover and just go. Oh, I had food poisoning.
Yeah, right.
That one gig. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
we're
all it
in
was.
Canada. We're almost in Canada. They play different notes.
Exactly. Wow, that's wild.
I just hope that everyone else is equally afraid.
I think we're all in. Everyone's in the same boat. I mean, everybody has been off. Has
I'd
never
like
been
to hear
off
from
this
your
long.
listeners, John. Send us your I'm afraid letters. I'm afraid to gig,
I'm afraid to gig.
right?
Yeah,
.com.
could be. I'm afraid to gig. Hashtag I'm afraid to gig.
Right.
Afraid to gig. Yeah, I don't know. You all right? We good?
We,
Yeah.
I know we're over by about an hour and
No,
12.
we're not. No, we're not. We're at about an hour. We'll just talk a little bit more, and then you can get out of here.
It's like a hostage.
No.
Well, no, the guy with the money's about to show up, and you
No.
can go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they heard about that gig you did up in Canada.
Yeah.
Wow. So our gigs is Infinity. We don't know. Is it coming back? We don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
think so.
I would think so, right?
I mean,
So you're going to be back in the saddle.
yeah. We have a couple of nights at the Kate with Al in September, and then up in Turner's Falls, and then might drop a little local bar gig
Amen.
that Sunday.
Yeah. Cool.
So,
I would love
yeah.
to get Al here, but I'm not going to dream. I'm going to leave that up to you. Make that happen.
I knew it. I knew you had me here for a reason.
Yeah. I had to listen to you for over. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not recording.
No,
Don't
no.
worry.
No, it's on the list, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to fool myself. I'm going to. Christine already committed, so she's going to
Yeah.
be here. So
She'll be here.
Who knows? Maybe we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about any of the records we made? We were in a band. We almost made
Oh,
it.
That's right. That's right.
we almost
certainly
made it.
were. Those are good records.
Yeah, those
and,
were good
And I
records.
listen to them now, and I think like, those are really creative moments there.
Yeah.
And I think they were gloves off.
Yeah.
Like there was very little like, you can't do that.
Yeah. No.
No, try everything.
Yep.
Do you remember? This
Oh,
is
boy.
one of my favorite. We
boy.
came up with a couple of sounds. One was smashing the door to my breezeway in the old house.
Yep.
But the washing machine.
We talked about that. Tracy Walton was here. We talked about the washing machine.
Bam,
The
that
era
thing.
of the washing machine.
And I wish that I had sampled all that stuff. I still have the claps.
Yep. And that's what I talked about too. Remember, we did the claps in your back stairway.
Yeah, I
We had
have
put
those
the mic-
sampled.
Yep. Okay, the claps.
Yep.
Yep. The washing machine.
Yeah, that was anything to make a sound.
Yeah. No, those are great. Those are the best. Those were the that run we had. That was the best. I'm glad. That was some of the best
Donna
stuff.
Martin, Dana Pomfrey.
Now, you remember? So the Donna Martin record. It just in what you one of the things you did for me, because I was coming off the road, so I would just like a bundle of affectations on the drums, more or less. That's the way I thought about it. And your thing was, I remember you used to say to me, when we would go in to do a record project, you would say, listen, I don't want your first thing that you're going to play. I want the second thing. Go a layer deeper of make your second choice. And then we got into make your third choice. And I would be like, And there was a Donna Martin song. I was learning the song and I was unpacking my drums, just hitting the cases. As I was learning,
Right.
mic it up.
Right.
Like, do
Right.
that. Just
Yeah.
do that. Don't even play the drums. The drums didn't come out of the cases.
Right.
That's when we knew. I was like, okay, we're into another zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also remember mastering a record one time, and you showed up with your drums,
Oh,
The guy wanted to add drums
during the
while we were mastering.
I remember that.
It's like I
don't say his name.
I'm not.
Nice guy. Yeah, but I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
I'm not.
But didn't understand. Yeah, mastering is the last.
Yeah, and had read like maybe somebody else did this, but I wasn't set up to do it.
Yeah, and he told me to show up, and you saw me and broke into tears and said, "Why is he here?"
Right. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And we're gonna put drums on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Those were good times. I remember. You remember we making that Backroads record.
Oh man, how about that? Those were great records.
That was a good record. When you maybe you don't remember this, but you were moving.
Right, I do. And
the only thing that was in the house was the studio.
Yep, I do remember.
Make the record and then take a break upstairs in a completely empty house.
Right, and I remember that. Charlie's father had worked with Coca-Cola.
Okay.
And they had just come out with this new drink called Red Bull.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Charlie brought 2 cases of it, and I was moving.
And you're like, oh, this is great. And I just moved the entire house in 4 hours.
Really? Like we wrapped up that record, and then we started another one at the new house. But so I hired a moving truck, moved everything except the studio, then hired a moving truck again to move the studio. Wow. So the house was only a mile away or whatever it was. And I remember one day I ran out of Red Bull.
Oh, no.
And I was moving I practically had a moving business. I was moving, I'd carry a couch a mile on my back. And I started stopping at the gas station.
For your Red Bull.
For my Red Bull.
You're hooked.
And a woman there said, "This is your 5th time today.
Strung out on Red Bull.
I don't think you should do this." She gave me good advice.
So it's kind of like the stripper saying you don't need this life.
It was the stripper. It was. Yeah.
I hope this is the
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean that's a button right there.
Wow, that's funny.
And that's
full circle.
Yep.
Wow, that's wild. Feather Merchants, that's the band we're talking about. Yeah. We made 3 records and a
live
EP.
album.
And a live album and an EP.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could have been a thing.
I think it could have.
We were starting to chart on college radio, and it was right
and when it was just getting good live too.
Yep, band was really good. It was the way I see it is this was around the turn of the century, and we were too late on. We were trying to sell CDs.
We were too,
and it just kind of the business started to collapse right at the moment when we were trying to.
Well, it was that, and it was also the internet had not done what it was going to do.
Right.
We weren't on time to catch that train.
Right.
The train hadn't heated up yet.
Right. Yeah, we were caught in between.
I'm not a tennis player, but I know people who play, and you can either stand at the net or stand at the back.
Okay.
But if
you lost me. I don't even know.
All right, stay with me. It's a ball. They hit back and forth, goes over the net. If you stand in the middle there, people just smash the ball into your ankles. That's where we got stuck.
Yeah.
In the timeline of technology.
Yep. Yeah. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame because that was a good. That was one of my favorites.
Legit.
I would have been happy if that was the thing.
We're going on to hour 14.
No, we're all right. It's an hour.
All right.
We'll wrap it up.
You gotta.
But yeah, no, we were almost there, but that's all right.
I think for people listening, this only seems like an hour.
All right, it sounds like you want to.
No, I don't.
No, fine. Okay, thank you for.
You know your people, because I don't want to short sell this Feather Merchants of all people.
No. I mean,
wait, and there's no the. Whew.
Right. Yeah, that's most important.
Yeah.
I'm just going to discreetly go to the theme bank the other way. Okay.
Are we done?
No, we could be.
That was really fun. I'm glad you had me.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I always say to anybody, because you'll watch this and go, why didn't I come back anytime? If you have any records you want to.
Like something you don't want to say.
Well, why not?
Hey, he's here again.
No. Why? No. Why would I ever say that?
John, your friend showed up in the day.
Yeah. He was jacked up on Red Bull.
Yeah.
He had some stripper with him.
Had a case.
Oh, Dave's talking.
I think it's time for a Feather Merchant reunion.
Yeah, that could happen.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
That could happen.
Yeah.
That could happen.
Next week, Brendan's going to be here.
Oh.
Okay. He books the 9 down in New Haven.
Oh, boy. Well, we got problems because we're all over the country.
Oh.
Singers in California.
Zoom.
Pete's in Boulder.
Soon.
Zoom. We'll just Zoom.
Yeah, we'll do a Zoom. A Zoom.
I was just on Ludlow Street, which was one of the songs I really liked.
Sure.
And it evoked. It shook loose
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Yep. Those were the days. Yeah, I mean, we could wrap it up. I'm glad you're here. I'm just going to,
I am too.
You've done a lot more for me than I could ever let the record show. I'm glad to be able to say that. And I appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here. And of course, when people talk about the Peckman, I always think of you as my friend
Sure.
first, and then I remember like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is great drummer too.
Oh, well.
I think after a while we kind of forget that about our friends.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is the sucking
Although you
up.
haven't heard me play lately, though, after a year and a half.
Same.
We'll just stick with friends now.
Yeah. No, heck, the dulcimer player, right?
See, I would settle for that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate being here.
Yeah, no problem. Let's do it again.
Let's just keep going.
I don't
No,
care.
no, I'm only kidding.
Jim Chapdelaine, here he is, boys and girls, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
you. Thank you.
One
John
and only.
Peckman. Dave, thank you.
Oh, of course. We are the Jon Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, look left. Thank you. I really appreciate you being here. I do. Thank you, Jim. He was here. Jim Chapdelaine, that's him. 13 Emmys? 13. 13? What are they worth anything, those things?
Why do they give it to me? Why did they give it to you?
You know why? This is going to be perfect. You know why they gave it to you? Because you're the best, bro.
Oh, whoa. Right, dude.
All right, later.